Think about everything you need to create a movie or play. There are lighting suits, scripts to remember, and the list goes on behind the scenes, with the director shooting out orders. For example, it accommodate everyone in silence on the set. The most famous phrase the director shoot out is the single word tells the actors and everyone else that it's time to apply all the practice and preparation to the finished product. In the business world, supervisors and group leaders are like a play director. The next step is to call and expect actions. Have you ever been to blame for procrastinations when it comes either to resolving a conflict on your team? Can your colleagues count on you to take appropriate action even in the midst of difficult times? In this lesson on conflict resolution, we explore and uncover the power of appropriate action. The great Spanish artist Pablo Picasso once stated that action is the fundamental key to all success, and the English philosopher Herbert Spencer once wrote, "The great goal of education is not knowledge, but action." Using these quotes from prominent historical figures as a background, you should take employer action every time the harmony is disturbed. The workplace is at risk due to conflict of action. It is a process of action. However, when it comes to conflict, doing something is not the goal of doing the right thing. This is the goal. When it comes to resolving conflict in the first place, of course, you can always use the strength of your position to get others to cooperate. The reconciled difference, but you are a leader in a part because of your ability to win people over and inspire them to do what's best for the team. So make sure you convince your team that conflict is counterproductive in a tug or war game, with both sides having to pull the role in opposite directions. If the teams are equal, very little progress has been made, and no matter who wins, both sides are grained and dirty. The same is true for conflict in the workplace. Team pulling in different directions will never achieve greatness, and greatness is the ultimate goal of business. And then convince the team that the conflict can be corrected, that there probably isn't too much solution. The main goal of any conflict should be a smart decision to convenience your team that the conflict is simply an opportunity to demonstrate their mature, intelligent teamwork and critical thinking skills. Then you must convenience them to proactively resolve conflicts before they turn into a crisis, which will save hours of time and significantly reduce your headache. Provide your team with simple steps to resolve the conflict on their own. These steps can include discussing issues, intelligently encouraging your team to communicate intelligently rather than emotionally. Twin and then encourage the team to listen sincerely to the hardest part of the conflict. To constantly listen. To remind your team it is important to listen sincerely, creating a culture. Respect for the opinion of others will significantly reduce the conflict. Then make sure they identify areas of agreement. Most often conflict arise and even disagreements intensity. However, you can overcome this simple impulse by forcing your team to focus on areas where common ground exists. Build on these points from the beginning. Finally, it is your responsibility to be persistent. Actions must be consistent to be effective. So don't let a few setbacks keep you from acting in a crisis. Remember that changing is always resistant, and only your resistance will have a lasting impact on your team as a leader. Your actions during a conflict are critical. Never shy away from being able to act and put into practice the principle of persuasive of the three advocates, perseverance, and you are sure to shine like never before.